Hey everybody, happy Monday. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're getting in some sort of training today or tonight. And I hope you're moving forward and making progress, hitting PRs, going for your walks, eating healthy, all that good stuff because it feels good and because we are badasses. So here's what I want to talk about today. A lot of people are being sold a ton of crap in the fitness industry. And the fitness industry is an industry because all these so-called experts are putting the proverbial band-aid on like broken bones and stuff. So what I mean by that is, somebody needs to lose like 50 pounds or more, 50 pounds, 100 pounds, 200 pounds, and they're being led astray by these fitness professionals, well, quote unquote fitness professionals that sell them, let's say, an ebook or an exercise plan or something else. And there's nothing wrong with exercise plans, ebooks, information, those kinds of things. The problem is we are so hard on ourselves, and there's an underlying issue, and nobody's talking about it. We're getting more and more polarized, as a culture in Western culture. Our average of fitness isn't improving; it's decreasing. We're getting fatter, we're getting sicker, and it's just not good. But the ones that are trying to take control of their fitness, and the ones that stick with it, generally they have something figured out that the rest of us don't, and that is this: they have a positive self-relationship. They love themselves and they know it. So instead of putting themselves down or having a negative kind of self-talk, they have a very, very positive self-talk. So you dive into the heads of these, successful fitness enthusiasts, and you dive into the head of somebody who's just wanting to get fit, but they just quite can't. They jump from diet to diet, and they end up binge eating and falling off the bandwagon and beating themselves up. The main difference is, the one that's taking off and seeing success has a good relationship with themselves, and the one that isn't seeing all the success is usually because they don't love themselves, or they have a really negative self relationship, and that's an important distinction. So sometimes sometimes I, as a personal trainer, will give somebody all of the tools that they need, and they'll have all the motivation, and they won't be able to stick with it. And the reason why is because they don't love themselves. I know that's harsh and it's hard, but self-sabotage is something that we all see, or that we all have dealt with, and it's very real. And there's no other excuse for having all the tools to be successful and to not use them, and to have a coach saying, these are the tools, this is how you use them, now use them. And you want to use them, but you just don't. It's a very funny thing. We humans are funny creatures, and we need all the help we can get. So why do people not use the tools? Why do some people keep struggling and struggling and struggling, and go through phases of driving themselves into the ground with this diet or this training plan, and going way over the top with it, and then falling off the wagon, and then going back to where they started, or even worse? Why does that happen? It happens because we're not giving ourselves the priority, and that does stem from that positive self-relationship. Taking care of yourself and having the right habits to take care of yourself, whether it's the training, meditation, yoga, eating healthy foods that fuel you and don't just feel good in the moment, those are all things that really add up, and they add up over time, and they're irrefutable. So if you are eating healthy and you're eating healthy because you want to take care of yourself, then those things show over time. The body that you're in is a kind of a culmination of all these little tiny decisions that we make all the time, and it's something that you can't fake. I mean, you can if you get, liposuction or enhancements or other things like that. But other than that, like if you're obese, that's not just genetics. You have a say. And if you're fit, it's not because of genetics. It's because you train your body. Uh, if you're a good writer, it's not because of genetics. It's because you probably write more than 99% of people out there. And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you want to be good at something, then you go do it. And you're not going to be good at it right away. And you're not going to reap all these kinds of benefits from doing it one time. If you're 60 years old and you're worn down and broken because you've lived life, with lots of, alcohol 3 days a week or whatever, and partying and staying out late, burning the candle at both ends, not eating vegetables, not drinking a lot of water, drinking soda all the time, having a high sugar intake, and then you do one 12-week, exercise program and take it, 75% seriously, then you're not going to make this whole big turnaround. It just doesn't work like that. You just keep going and you keep doing these things that are good for you because you have this positive self-relationship, because you know that you deserve it, and that internal voice in your head is saying, why am I doing this? Well, because I want to, because I want to feel good, and I deserve to feel good, damn it. So instead of beating yourself up, or anybody beating themselves up, let's just take a moment to appreciate that we are here, the fact that we are here, and see the obligation that we have in front of us to live life fully. And that means delaying gratification a little bit, pulling our own heads out of our own asses, and looking in the mirror and saying, I love you. It feels hokey, and it's really weird, but if you do that 10 times every day, look in the mirror, make eye contact with yourself, and say, I love you, or I love myself. It kind of helps to rewire what's going on up there a little bit. So, yeah, don't be so hard on yourself. Everybody's so hard on themselves, and they think that they got to run for an hour 5 days a week, or they got to eat 1,000 calories a day 6 days a week, and on the 7th day they just pig out and eat a whole pizza and then go out for ice cream right afterwards. It's not like that. You just make small incremental changes, and that's it. If you walk for 10 minutes a day 4 days a week this week, great, awesome. Next week, try to go for 2 7-minute walks. You can split them up, and you still get 14 minutes total of walking per day, which is still more than 10. So I'm not going to get into how variables work and all that stuff right now, but small incremental improvements. And when you start with that kind of mentality, then the world is your oyster. So my most successful clients are successful because they understand that. They're like, hey, I'm going to go work out. I'm going to go get strong and da-da-da-da-da. And why? Because it's fun, and because I want to, and because I love myself. It's not a sucky thing. It's not this thing that we have to beat ourselves up over. And that's, I think that's the last thing I want to touch on is when you go to the gym, if you don't have a trainer, fine, but don't go to the gym and just smoke yourself every day, or even 3 days a week. You don't need to smoke yourself. Just be consistent. Consistent is 100 times more important than intensity. I would rather have a client go to the gym 4 days a week and do 2 sets of squats, on one day. I don't want to get into it, but basically, I would rather have them go to the gym for 4 days a week for 15 minutes, not even break a sweat, rather than go once a week and drive themselves into the ground. So, let's see, 15 minutes 4 times a week, that's an hour total of work without even sweating. I'd like for them to get conditioning in and all that other stuff, but whatever. But you get the idea. Consistency, 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 because we love ourselves and because it's fun. If you can make it fun, then do it. Some people hate, some forms of cardio. Fine, whatever. You don't like the Stairmaster? Fine, go for a walk. Don't like the treadmill? Fine, do something else. Jump rope, do something. Just move and make it fun. That's kind of all I got for today. Me, myself, I'm going to go do a burpee challenge because I am sick and twisted. But you know what? Because I love myself and because I want to, and I haven't done a burpee challenge in a long time. Stay tuned and have a good day.